Good day everyone, especially to Doc Maida El Katong, and welcome to Med 203 Foundation of Education. I am Mars A. Esmundo, your discussant for today. My topic is all about philosophical foundation. A. Educational philosophies of frontier thinkers. B. Function of philosophy of education. C. Importance of philosophy of education to the teachers. First, educational philosophies of frontier thinkers. Socrates, 469 to 399 BC. Credited as one of the founders of a Western philosophy. I only know that I know nothing, thought his learner by asking questions. Socrates' educational philosophy, through questioning the virtue of self-knowledge, admitting ignorance. Socratic method, a form of inquiry and debate between individuals with opposing viewpoints based on asking and answering questions. Plato, 428 to 348 BC, devoted young follower of Socrates, believed that the state should provide the schooling, not the parents. He also believed in equal education for all, whether male or female. The Republic, it is a doctrine which he designed, a society in order to discover the meaning of justice, in which he compared three elements of society: the peasants, the warriors, and the philosopher kings. The academy, it is a sort of quasi-religious fraternity, where rich young men studied mathematics, astronomy, law, and philosophy, depending entirely on donations. True to his ideals, he permitted women to attend 3 levels of education: elementary school, military training, and higher education. Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC, Prize student of Plato. The first to classify areas of human knowledge into distinct disciplines such as mathematics and ethics. Logic first to develop a formalized system for reasoning. His aim was to develop a universal method of reasoning by means of which it would be possible to learn everything there is to know about reality. Define logic as a new and necessary reasoning. Lyceum, a school of learning based in Athens, Greece, and he was an inspiration for the Peripatetics. Realism, Aristotelian realism based on the principle that ideas can exist without matter, but no matter can exist without form. He claimed that each piece of matter has universal and particular properties. Conception of the 4 causes: material cause, the matter from which something is made; formal cause, the design that shapes the material object; efficient cause, the agent that produces the object; and final cause, the direction towards which the object is tending. John Amos Comenius, 1592 to 1670 BC, father of modern education, developed philosophies Pansophism, Realism. Pansophism, a philosophy, emphasizes political unity, religious reconciliation, and cooperation in education. Realism in philosophy about a given object is the view that this object exists in reality independently of our conceptual scheme. In philosophical terms, these objects are ontologically independent of someone's conceptual scheme, perception, linguistic practices, beliefs, and etc. visionary and innovator. He thinks in bigger picture and believes much of lives that learning should be woven together. A concept he called Via Lucis, way of life, a universal plan of education and peace. First, to introduce pictorial textbooks, applied effective teaching based on the natural gradual growth from simple to more comprehensive concepts. Unlock 1632 to 1704. Principles of empiricism. He advanced the hypothesis that people learn primarily from external forces. Tabula rasa. He asserted that at birth, the human mind is a blank slate or tabula rasa or an empty cup of idea. He believed that individuals acquire knowledge most easily when they first consider simple ideas gradually combined to complex ones. Liberalism. It is a distinct philosophical tradition employed the concept of natural rights and the social contract to argue that the rule of law should replace both tradition and absolutism and government. The ruler were subject to the consent of the governed, and that private individual have fundamental rights to life, liberty, and property. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, 1592 to 1670. Social contract theory. Man was born free and he is everywhere in chains. Naturalism. It is a concept that firmly believes that ultimate reality lies in the nature of the matter. Matter is considered to be supreme and mind is the functioning of the brain that is made up of matter. Jesus Christ's right relationship with God should precede all kinds and types of education. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Functions of philosophy of education. Philosophy of education performs various functions. The area discussed below. A. Determining the aims of education. Harmonizing old and new traditions in the field of education. Providing the educational planners, administrators, and educators with a progressive vision to achieve educational development. Preparing the young generation to face the challenges of the modern time. Importance of philosophy of education to the teacher. Teachers are mentors and play an active role in inculcating independent thinking in students. However, to do that as a teacher, you must have a teaching philosophy of your own. Students always look up to their teacher, and therefore, it becomes necessary for you to have thoughts to inspire them. Here are specific reasons why you should study philosophy of education if you are a teacher. First, helps to decipher the path of learning. Teaching philosophy has been defined as the map, which provides direction to move ahead. One may feel lost without a map. In the same way, you are going to be missed while teaching if a specific path is not decided. Hence, a map is always needed to make informed movements. It is not possible to make students learn something until the teacher knows why and how he and she wants to reach. Once you know your path, you will be helping your students to plan to reach their destinations. Second, affects the society. Teachers are termed as the future makers of the society. People like you are the ones who help students choose different professions and identities. A teacher can leave a profound impact on students and help them make independent decisions in the near future. The core values of the student learned from you today are going to be applied and used in society as they grow up. A solid philosophical background which helps ensure that these values are all positive. If you believe in breaking stereotypes, there are high chances your student will follow the same philosophical path. If your philosophy is accepting the already existing theories rather than questioning them, your students might follow your path. Third, to be in their shoes. By learning philosophy, a teacher would be able to view and analyze from the perspective of their students. Apart from understanding why students are behaving in a particular way, teachers would also be able to know how students perceive their actions. This helps them adopt better teaching strategies and guidance, eventually resulting in improved results. Best of all, a teacher would be able to analyze her actions and understand the positives and negatives of their methods. Just as it helps students, it helps them as well. In other words, the educational curriculum consisting of philosophy contributes to discovering the mind of the learner, thus aid him/her in offering experiences and opportunities for cultivating his and her potential abilities. Next, to avoid being judgmental. Philosophy of education also teaches a teacher the concept of not prejudicing the personality of each student. Remember that you need to consider all students equal, but this should not affect the unique potential and capabilities of each student. As educators, you are required to teach creativity, autonomy, and curiosity to all students without compromising their intellectual levels. The next one, to teach the concept of unification. Philosophy also teaches about unifying each pupil and the teacher as one body to ensure harmony. The idea is to work together to create a better citizen who diligently serves his community and keeps check on his/her morality. Through the philosophy of education, teachers can understand how to deal with the students and unite them as one. And the last one, the verdict. Through philosophy, you can ensure that your student not only retains his academic knowledge from all his completed grades, but also develop a sense of human values and ethics. These personal values provide a better upbringing for them to cope in the later years of their life. Thus, studying it is beneficial and significant for teaching students to learn autonomously. Thank you for listening and God bless everyone.